what you've made of the time you've had with them and the development of the players in those few months, really, from where they've come to try and football you've tried to sort of lay onto them, and how well you've all coped with that experience.
Well, I think that the players have been excellent, as I've said throughout. You know, the changes that we tried to implement. Obviously, it's always difficult to do that in a performance phase of the season. In an ideal world, you have a pre-season and you have some time to embed those principles and establish some values of the team and the players, and get some really key foundations laid. And obviously, when you come in through the middle of the season, you don't have that time, so you have to be adaptable, you have to be agile in terms of how you work, and you know that means that you have to really prioritize certain aspects of the game and try and get as close to what you would want it to look like as quickly as possible within the constraints. And you know, in terms of reflecting back, and we've done a review as a group of staff and as players, and you know, I think overall we're disappointed with the results because I don't feel like the results have reflected the work and the performances that the players have put in. But in terms of what we set out to achieve, what we went after from the start of this period of time, I'm relatively pleased with how that's gone. Incredibly proud of the players for how they've taken on board that new style, the identity of the football club, because it's not easy. It's really not easy to play the way we want to play and to do some of the things that we want to do, both with and without the ball. So overall, I'm really pleased. I'd just like to be sat here with a few more points.
I mean, in your opinion, does the squad need much tweaking to go that next step next season? Will there be much change in the summer required, or do you think you've made a really good base there?
Well, I think we've got the core of a really good squad. I think that's pretty obvious. Of course, you always want to bring in better players. You know, the players will want to play with better players. Coaches want to work with better players, and you know, the clubs, as I said last week, the club's working really hard to do that. Recruitment doesn't happen just in the windows. You know, it happens 12 months of the year, and the club. I know the recruitment team has been working really hard throughout the season to make sure that, you know, we're in a really strong position when it comes to the summer transfer window. And, you know, I'm sure we'll be able to bring in some exciting additions to add to what already is a very good group.
I won't ask you to pick out individuals, but of course the club and the fans did on that glittering awards night. And great to see, you know, once again, the women's game so prominent on that evening. Elizabeth Turland, Maisie Simmons, your goalkeeper Sophie Bagley. A bit on those three, and also others that perhaps have really impressed you.
Well, I think again, you know, those players that have achieved the individual accolades, they only get to do that because they have a great team around them, and I think those players will be the first to say that. So I think, you know, it's always nice to get the individual accolades for the players that get them, but for me, it's a team sport. It's a team game, and we're striving to be the best team that we can be, the best group that we can be. And as I say, you know, their teammates, you know, should take great pride in those players achieving those things as well.
You say you've done a review. In a way, that's quite a nice way to end the season. Is you take the side to Arsenal, you know, very impressive side this season once again. It's a real test of what you've done, what you've achieved, what the players have achieved, isn't it? It's quite a good yardstick to finish with this season, Mikey, in a way. Yeah,
of course. You always want to test your principles against the best teams, because, as you say, that's where you really learn. You know, whether it's working, whether the players are able to do it under the highest pressure. You know, I believe this group of players are. I believe they are able to do that, and you know, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow after a really good couple of weeks training where we've worked really hard, and yeah, we'll go into tomorrow's game full of confidence, respectful of the opposition always, and we'll be going there to try and put on a performance for our travelling fans. So yeah, looking forward to it.
What area of your game needs to be at its best tomorrow, do you think, after all you've been tested and things you've learned about your team this season? What needs to be 100% tomorrow?
Well, I don't think it's one particular aspect of the game. I think we have to be good across the board. Clearly, Arsenal are very good with the ball, so we'll have to be very good without it, and organised and structured and work very hard from that perspective. But I also feel that we're a good team with the ball as well. So we want to be at our best and show that we can, we can compete with one of the best teams in the league, and that's what we'll be setting out to do tomorrow.
Finally, a word on Emma Hayes leaving the English game, what she's achieved with Chelsea and what she's done for the women's game in Britain for the last decade. Yeah,
an incredible career, incredible journey. I know she'll be in good hands when she goes to the States. I worked with Matt Crocker both at the FA and at Southampton, and he's a fantastic leader. So Emma will be going there, and I'm sure she'll achieve great things there as well.
Good luck tomorrow. Thanks for all your time this season.
Thank you. You too, Tim.